Chapter 1. How to get involved. Find a barn near you. When searching for a barn near you, start by searching on the internet for horse therapy barns in your area. Forums are also helpful. When you find a barn, read what people have to say about it and determine if it is a good fit for you. The following link provides a list of many, but not all, equine therapy centers in the United States. vetmed.ucdavis.edu/ccab/eatprograms.htm. Here you can view therapy barns by state and city. Use this as a starting reference in your search. Another great way to find a nearby therapy barn is through word of mouth. It is likely that someone you know is connected to a person eligible for horse therapy. Doctors may also know about local horse therapy barns if they recommend patients there. Utilize these sources when searching for a therapy barn. Volunteer training. Once you find a barn, the next step is to complete volunteer training. This must be done before you can participate in lessons. Training sessions are typically held before each session of lessons. You must fill out an information packet and attend a training session. During training, the staff explains the program details and volunteer duties. You will meet the staff, and you will most likely watch an instructional video depicting what an actual lesson looks like. Then you will see the barn and arena where lessons take place. You should see a demonstration of how a horse is groomed and tacked, saddled, which must be done before each lesson. After the tour and demonstrations, you can decide if you want to continue and sign up for lessons. Keep in mind that if you sign up for lessons, it is a commitment to be there every week for the duration of the session. If you cannot commit to a weekly time slot, horse therapy is not for you. This commitment is necessary because the riders need a certain amount of volunteers to be able to ride. If volunteers don't show up, the riders cannot have their lesson because it won't be safe for them. Go into horse therapy knowing that the time you volunteer is ongoing and essential to the rider's success. Also know that should you decide to volunteer, you will be immensely appreciated. Volunteer positions. Each barn has a unique set of volunteer positions available, but there are two that will always be necessary for carrying out lessons. Number 1. Sidewalker. It is the sidewalker's job to walk alongside the rider and horse. Many riders need support to stay in the saddle. In that case, the rider has two sidewalkers, one on each side. The sidewalkers hold the rider's feet or legs depending on how much support a particular rider needs as they walk with the horse. They emphasize the instructor's directions, offer help with completing directions, and give praise when a rider follows the instructions and/or performs a technique well. If a rider does not need physical support to safely ride, often one sidewalker will accompany the rider, remaining at a close distance to help with directions and give praise. 2. Horse leader. While the sidewalker is in charge of the rider's safety, it is the horse leader's job to maintain control of the horse at all times. Excluding independent riders, who ride free of any volunteers, all other riders are given a horse leader. They control the horse with a lead rope attached to the bridle. This ensures that even if the rider stops steering the horse, the lesson will not be disrupted. The horse leader can always redirect the horse to the desired position. If the rider is not yet capable of steering or stopping his or her horse, the horse leader takes full control during the lesson, while the sidewalkers teach the rider to use the reins and verbal cues. Barns have a variety of other volunteer positions, from bookkeepers to webmasters to snack providers. Each position is important for keeping morale high, which allows everyone to focus on the mission of therapeutic riding. Horse leader training. Immediately following a volunteer training session, you are qualified to be a sidewalker. For those who wish to be a horse leader, certain prerequisites are required. For instance, you must have a certain amount of experience around horses. Anyone who has owned a horse or has been professionally trained to ride is qualified. However, those individuals must still go through horse leader training. Horse leader training is held to ensure that everyone in the barn handles the horses in the same manner. Many people walk through the barn every day, but it is best if staff and volunteers handle the horses uniformly. A routine helps the horses feel at ease around so many strangers. The new horse leaders are taught how their particular barn wishes to handle the horses. They are also taught the mounting processes. A therapy rider mounts a horse differently than an able-bodied rider. Oftentimes, the mounting process is stressful to the horses, so the horse leaders must control the horses and make them comfortable during mounting. Once the new horse leaders are trained, they are free to sign up for lessons and be fully responsible for the horses. Review. Once you find a barn near you, volunteer training sessions will provide the necessary information to teach lessons and enhance the rider's experience. There are two main volunteer positions in equine therapy: the sidewalker, who assists the rider, and the horse leader, who controls the horse. Horse leaders receive more training than sidewalkers and generally have more barn experience, so they make great mentors for volunteers who need help adjusting.